Alright, John Oakes here with Hagster's Hot Rods here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania location. Today we're going to be discussing this car right here beside me. This is the newest addition to our inventory. This is a 1963 Buick Riviera. Now this car here, as you see it sitting here, 100% original. It's original, numbers matching, so original paint, original metal, original frame, floors, all of that. And again, all of the frame, all of the body work, all of the engine, driveline components, all original to what this car had when it came from the factory. Now as you see our car here, this color that you see, it almost kind of looks like an off-white, but they call it desert sand. So that's the exterior color, and again, that is the original color. The paint on this, for being original, looks really good too. Again, it's going to have a few little nicks or chips here and there, but they've all been brush touched and looks very well in this car. All of our bright work, meaning your bumpers, front and rear, all of your wheel well trim, the rocker trim, mirrors, all of the moldings around all of your windows and such, all of that is in really good condition. It's all nice and straight, all polished up very well for this vehicle. As you can see, wheels and tires, again, they wanted to keep it looking original, so it's got the original steel wheels. These are 15-inch wheels. Got the wire wheel hubcaps with the spinner style centers on them there as well. And the tires, as you can see, they're a white wall tire. They have 225/75 R15 size tires on all four corners on this car. And the tires are in really good condition too. As you can see on our car here, the gaps on the doors, that's exactly how it was when it came. It looks very well. All of your body lines all line up. Of course, you've got your Riviera script emblem down on the front fender and some of your accent trim here too on the quarter panel. Glass on this car, all very, very nice. Again, no chips or cracks in the windows, not even in the vent windows or in your quarter windows. By the way, these are power windows, so all of your windows all work too. We've been through this and they all work. Let's open up our door. Take a look at the interior. Once again, another thing that's all original to this car is the interior. So none of your seat upholstery, carpeting, or anything has been switched out. This is exactly what the car came with. So again, factory dash, factory instrumentation. You've got your bucket seats up front, which again, your front seat is power, and it operates off a little control down on the arm of your door here. So again, and that all functions. You've got your seat belts, bucket seats in the rear. So again, all of that is all original and still in really good condition, only showing signs of normal wear on it. All of your seals around the window, all of your rubbers down your quarter windows, those are all in good shape. And again, your threshold plates, again, for being original, this thing looks great. So we'll go ahead and close this. Again, the door shuts nice too. The roof, again, all of that, your drip rail moldings and your rain gutters. I feel my finger through there to make sure they're nice and smooth. They are. Again, no rough areas to speak of there. We'll come back this side of the car here. And I always kind of, on these big cars especially, I always like to look down the side. And again, the driver's side, nice and straight the whole way down the side of the car. As we come around the back, again, we've got our rear bumper here. Again, this is original. Again, the finish is really good for being original. No real pitting to talk of on that. Your taillights, the lenses are in great shape too. No chips or cracks in those. Of course, you've got your Buick insignias there right in the center of your taillights. Of course, Buick right here on your trunk. Also, big trunk on these cars. You can see the gap the whole way around and the elevations with your rear quarter panels. All of that lines up very nice. Your back glass here, that's in great shape too. You can see it's slightly tinted. No chips or cracks in that also. And again, your trim the whole way around there. That is in good shape. We'll open our trunk lid up for you too. Take a look inside. Yet another thing, all original back here. So you've got a car cover in here that comes with it. You've got the floor mats. You've got the original bumper jack tucked away up inside the fender there. You've got a spare tire with the cover. And of course, this is your trunk mat. And then the lug wrench is underneath the spare wheel. Your seals around the trunk, those are all in really good condition still. You'll see they meet right in the center here. No rips or tears really out of any of it. Still nice and soft, so it's going to go ahead and seal up nicely. Of course, still that original desert sand color on the underside here. You even have your little decal here for your bumper jack instructions and so forth. So we'll close this up. We'll walk around to the other side. Again, we look up the side of the car and we can see it's nice and straight. Again, just more of all the same stuff over here. Again, you'll just notice all of your trim and so forth, all in really good condition. The glass on the passenger side, same thing. Tinted, no chips or cracks in any of that. We'll open this up, and that way you can take a look now from the passenger side of the vehicle. But again, center console, automatic shifter there in the center console, all the factory instrumentation, factory radio, factory heat and AC controls up there too, and the dash pad looks in good condition as well. That closes nice. Gaps and elevations on our passenger side door, great. And of course the mirror on the passenger side, that's in great shape too. You've got your fender mounted antenna. It's kind of a telescoping, so you can raise it up there if you need to for better reception. Put it down if you don't need it. And we'll come around to the front then. Again, nice big chrome bumper here. Looks very good for being 1963. Your front grille hasn't been touched, hasn't been broken or cracked or anything. It's all intact. Your headlights here, both your highs and your low beams, those are just your traditional seal beam glass lens lights there on the front of the car. The bezels on the headlights too, those are in great shape too. Nice big steel all original hood here. Again, you can see the gaps. You can see your cowl grills back here too. Those are in great shape. Again, nothing dented in or anything. All looks to be really great. The windshield, same thing. No chips or cracks on that. Looks very good. We'll go ahead and open our hood up. Talk a little bit more about what else is original on this car. Alright, so there's our hood open. Now you can see the engine that we have here. Again, as I said, all original, all numbers matching car. So this is the original 401 cubic inch Buick Nailhead motor. It's got the factory air cleaner on it, the 4-barrel carburetor, cast intake, cast exhaust manifolds. Again, all original for this car. Now it is a power brake car, drums the whole way around it, but it stops very well. Power steering on this car too. And again, this is just exactly how these cars would have been. Stock style radiator, stock style ignition with plugs and wires and coil. Again, we put these disconnects on these. Again, a nice little safety feature. And as far as the fan goes, looks like we've got a 4-blade steel steep pitch fan there to help pull everything down. So that's the original motor. Now right behind that, and again, we'll go over all of this stuff once we get it up on the lift too, but behind this motor is the original 2-speed automatic Dynaflow transmission. Again, it is automatic, and then your rear end is the original Buick rear. It's a 9 3/8 rear with a 323 gear in it, so that's what's going to get you up and rolling in this car. Again, great condition for a 1963 Riviera that has been completely untouched, unmolested whatsoever, unchanged from the way it would have come. So that's it. We've been around the outside of our car, we've been in the interior, and now under the hood. Next thing we do is get this on our lift so we can go through the underside. Again, all original floors, keep in mind. This thing's great for what it is, and we'll go ahead and show you that, and then we'll open up this hood again, get this motor running. That way you get to hear what that 401 Nailhead sounds like. Alright, so we've got our 1963 Buick Riviera up here on the lift here. We're going to go through it now just as we always do, starting from front, working our way to the back of the car as far as the frame, the floors, the steering, suspension, braking, driveline, all of that stuff that we see underneath here. So we'll start with the front suspension on this car. Now again, keep in mind, everything on this car is factory original. So as far as the suspension, the body, the paint, the interior, all of that stuff, except for a few of the consumable type items like brake pads and so forth, this car is all original. So with the front suspension, original A-arms, both top and bottom. Again, all of your ball joints, you can tell everything's been greased and maintained very well throughout the years for a 63. All of our steering, the tie rods here, those are all in good shape. Ball joints, same thing. They still have all the rubber dust boot covers all intact, which means they're going to keep the grease in them, keep dirt and debris out of them. As far as steering, that is power steering on this car. Brakes, same thing, power brakes. They are four-wheel drum brakes, but again, they do stop very well for being drum brakes on the car. Front suspension also, this is the strut rod style suspension. So you see your struts here working their way to the front of the vehicle, to the front of the frame here. Again, all of your mounting locations are in good shape. All of the bushings on your strut rods, those are in good condition too. Now, as far as the driveline, we might as well go ahead and address that right now. This is the original 401 Nailhead motor here. Now, right behind that, you've got the 2-speed Dynaflow. This is the automatic transmission here for this car, and that was the original transmission for this car. Now, as far as our engine oil pan and our transmission pan here, everything looks to be dry. I don't see any leaks here. As we come back to the drive shaft next, this is a balanced unit coming all the way back here. It's a pretty long drive shaft, but this car is a longer car. As far as the rear end goes, original rear end in this too, and we've got a 323 gear in this as well. So that is your drive line. Now, rear suspension, since we're back here, you can see this is the factory suspension. You've got your metric 4-link back here. That would be your lower control arms down here, and then your upper control arms that come down and mount to the top of the rear end housing. So that is all in great shape. Your bushings at each end on all of the arms are all in good shape on this vehicle. Coil springs and shocks on the back, same thing up front. Coil springs and shocks on the front of the vehicle. As far as wheels and tires, these are the original wheels with the wire wheel type hubcaps and the centers on them. And as far as the tires, these are 225, 75, R15s on all four corners of the car. As far as the floors go on this car, floors are in excellent shape. You can see there is no patching that I can see on this car. You can see all of the stamping lines on all the floors, and you can see all of the bracing underneath here is all intact. The frame, first time being under this car, this is a very unique frame on these Buicks. It's an X-shaped frame all the way back through the car, full frame, and this thing is in great condition. The frame rail's nice and square the whole way back. Again, it doesn't look like they've ever been hit on anything. It looks great. Right here through the center section, you've got a lot of real heavy duty bracing right here in the middle. So all of that looks to be in great shape. Transmission cross member bolt in, that's nice and straight, good and square in the car as well. As far as the exhaust, factory stock exhaust manifolds up at the engine. You've got dual exhaust all the way back here, and again all the way back to the rear of the car, and you have these tube style mufflers back here. I'm not sure if those are kind of, I would imagine they're kind of like a glass pack almost, or like a resonator type exhaust, one of the two. But it's got all the exhaust clamps in place, all the hangers in place. That exhaust is not going to go anywhere. And it's also got a nice set of chrome exhaust tips that exit out right below the rear bumper on this car. So that is pretty much it for our Buick for the underside. We're going to go ahead and get this thing off the lift next. Open up the hood, we'll fire that 401 Nailhead up for you. That way you'll get to hear what it sounds like before shipping it off.